Hey guys, welcome to the Fast Religion YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, we are proud to announce the formal release of our new digital clutch slipper system. This right here is a bit more feature packed than your cheaper mechanical clutch slipper systems that you might see on the market. So I'm just going to go over some of the features of this, how it works, and more specifically how to install it, and go over pricing and options that we also have for this on our website. We did a whole video on clutch slipper systems, including a small demo of the prototype of one of these, if you want to check that out in case you're wondering what clutch slippers are. But just want to go over the features of what is in this production unit. Now, these are assembled here at our shop. The boards, we designed the boards and everything, so it's all assembled here. This slipper is a time-based slipper. As explained in the previous video, there's different kinds of clutch slippers. This specifically is a digitally controlled time-based slipper. Very easy to operate. Once you have it turned on, you simply turn these knobs to adjust the times that display on the screen, and you're ready to go. This doesn't require any apps. It doesn't require you to have a computer or your phone nearby to operate it. It's simply hook it up, and then when you turn the car on, it's ready to go. If you need to make adjustments, you can make adjustments on the fly. Say you go to a drag strip and you're at a rental, so you can do multiple launches in a row. You could just quickly do a 60-foot launch. If you have too much slip, too little slip, simply back up, adjust the knob for how you think you need it, and then you can go again. Depending on the temperature that it is outside or the temperature of the track that you're on, the amount of slip you're gonna need is going to change. And by having it just be two very simple settings, you can go, and as you do more races, you can see what settings work and what conditions. You know, take out a notepad, write those settings down, and then you'll know for future events, hey, it's colder out today, so I need to set the settings to this, or it's hotter out today, we need to set the settings to this, and you're ready to go. But it's extremely easy to set up. So let me go over exactly how the wiring works and exactly what you're going to need to install it. So there are 6 wires that come off of the unit themselves. It's the same color on every single unit. Blue is our power wire, green is our ground wire, yellow and orange are our switch wires. So one goes to the clutch, one goes to a 2-step button, or if you don't have 2-step, it goes to a button to activate the system. And then red and brown go to the slipper solenoid. And it's really straightforward to install. These work with 16 and 12 volt systems, anything in between, and even up to, we've tested it to 18 volts in case for some reason you're up there. So once you get your power and ground hooked up, you're going to hook up your switches. We recommend hooking the switches up before you start messing with the solenoid, so you can verify that you have everything wired right and you can understand how the settings work. The orange wire, again, used to arm the system, which we will show you how that works. And the yellow one is what the clutch switch needs to activate. Now the clutch switch needs to be activated when the clutch is fully pressed down. So when it's fully depressed, you want the clutch switch to be on. That way when you release the pedal, it starts your timer and gets the system going. So it is really that easy to install. All of these units come with Deutsche connectors. They are not pinned to here because a lot of people really don't like to do the pinning on the Deutsche connectors for the other side. So we give you the connector in case you want to use it, but you don't have to. Simple butt connectors work just fine. Let me quickly go over how the solenoid wiring needs to be done. Now you have 2 wires that come out of these solenoids. It's the same solenoid that's used in, say, the Magnus clutch slipper. So you can actually just take your Magnus clutch slipper apart, use just the solenoid, and use it with our unit if you so choose to. So the way you want to hook these solenoids up is you want to run 1 wire to ground. The other wire is going to go to either the red or brown wire on the unit, and then that red or brown wire that you didn't use is then going to go to a 12 volt power. Remember, always use a fused power source. The unit itself only draws about an amp when it's activating and doing its thing. Your slipper is going to use more than that, so we recommend 2 separate power sources for that. So 2 separate fuses for the 2 separate systems. That way, if there's a failure, you know exactly what failure point you're at. As far as hooking up the solenoid to your clutch system, they only flow good in one direction. I should say they only flow the fluid back really well in one direction. So the way you want to hook it up is the brass side of the solenoid you want connected to the section that's going to your clutch, and then the silver side of the solenoid you want going back towards your pedal. That's the orientation that you want it in. Now, to use the system, as I mentioned in the previous video, what you're going to do is you're going to hold down your two-step button, or in this case, your activation button, which arms the system. This is part of a safety mechanism we have built in, so the system can't activate if you press the clutch in going down the track, because most people are going to need to use the clutch. So you hold that button down, which activates the system. You push your clutch pedal down. At that point, if you wanted to let go of that button, you can. If you're using it to keep your two-step on, you can keep holding it down. It's just an activation button. And then once you're ready to launch the car, to take off for your run, simply just take your foot off the clutch. You take your foot off the clutch, it will release the clutch for the set amount of time that you've given, and then it will hold the clutch for the set amount of time that you've given. And then that's it. After that, the clutch activates and works like a normal clutch system. You won't even know that the system is there. If for some reason you don't want to use it when you're launching, as long as you don't hit that activation button, you're good to go. In some situations, it might be nice to put a toggle switch so you can disable that button from activating in case you want to do two-step testing, or if you want to be able to creep up to the line, if you're doing a heads-up race. There's different ways to do that. So that is essentially how easy it is to use this system. It's not overly finicky. A lot of mechanical clutch systems, the adjustments are so small that you got to fight with it every time you go do a run. But that is how this system works. If you have any questions, feel free to either comment down below, shoot us an email, or give us a phone call, and we'll be glad to help you. We are also offering switches and buttons on our website you can order with it in case you need to add a clutch switch, in case your vehicle didn't come with one. Like this vehicle comes with a clutch switch that we were able to use. A lot of vehicles that are factory manual transmission come with those switches, so you can just use those as long as you can run it to a ground on the other side of the switch. That's the only real requirement with those. So again, buttons and switches are also available in case you need them. As far as pricing goes, the units have two different price levels. One is with solenoid, one is without. With the solenoid, you're looking at about $399.99. And then without the solenoid, it's $299.99. Again, if you have a mechanical slipper already that uses this style of solenoid, you can get it without the solenoid to save yourself a little bit of money and just transfer the solenoid over. These can be found on our website, thefastcollision.com. If you get one of these, please let us know how you make out. Let us know if your 60 foot's improved. Feel free to send us videos of the installation. We'd love to see when you guys use our products.
Like and subscribe.